Action! Activate! Hey, me, Gazbot. Thanks for shopping with us. Who's us? Well, us is Action Activate. And if us is Action Activate and me is me, then with me is...
It is I. It is the big dog. I have not shopped today, but the day is young, and, we'll see how things go.
All right. Well, we're not doing a review. Well, we're not doing a review of a Power Rangers episode today.
Correct. We're doing more of a review of hot or cold takes. There's a YouTube channel that I watch frequently, and Gazbot watches on occasion, called Watch Mojo. They do a lot of top videos, like top 10, top 20 things, and they have currently 63 Power Ranger videos on their channel talking about, different weapons, best Rangers, best finishers, teams, etc. So we have talked about the idea of looking at this, but we haven't talked about the specific video that we wanted to talk about. So I've seen a decent little chunk of these.
I've definitely seen some of these, but I couldn't tell you which one I watched because I don't usually seek it out. It's just like stuff that comes up on my feed and then I might watch.
Yeah. So I'm open to most. Is there any in particular?
The only thing I'm thinking is picking one that isn't like 20 or 30 minutes long.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I'm gonna look here. Top 10 Megazords. I guess we could also skip around in it. Top 10 Jason David Frank moments. Are there even 10? I mean, I
there's
guess
a ton. Over like 10 series. Yeah.
I guess you're right. 10 times people will recap. Well, we want hot takes. So we're not just looking for info. We want to give our opinion on their opinion. I guess.
Yeah. To see like, oh, I agree with that. Oh, why would that be number one? Who made this list kind of thing.
Gotcha.
All opinion based.
How about top 10 cringiest Power Rangers moments ever? Okay.
That works. Let me, I guess you'll be sharing it.
Yeah, it has the screenshot of the blue in space with the Ninja Turtles.
I do see it.
Well, we'll get into it, but that's a debatable cringe thing. Okay, so
we haven't talked if we're going to do volume or not. I'll leave it up to you.
I mean, I think we want to hear some of what they're saying, right? I mean,
yeah, just toggling it on and off kind of thing.
Yeah, because we want to hear their reason. Okay,
and we'll talk over it partially, I'm sure.
Bigger. Oh, you know what? I could also put the closed captions on.
Good
and
call.
I'll put the volume down a little bit so we can just kind of hear. So are you going to have it on yours as well, or we're just going to watch it on mine?
I'll watch it on yours. I've seen this one before, so I'm sure it'll jog my memory.
Okay, I'm going to not put the grid up that I normally do because it's already a clip show on another channel, so it should be okay.
If something happens, then YouTube's broken.
Yeah, basically. All right, so let me hit play. Top 10
I can already remember what this one's out of the gate.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 cringiest moments on Power Rangers.
So far, I'm not seeing anything wrong so far.
For this list,
three cringy ones thus far.
Annoying and downright painful moments these multicolored teens with attitude were a part of that made us want to look away. As you cringe with us, expect spoilers ahead.
Okay. I was going to try to skip this intro, but I think it's not that long.
Let us know in the comments.
Okay.
Number 10, Negatron's lame insults. Power Rangers Samurai.
I vaguely remember
Megatron
this.
is a monster that can use insults to physically harm
someone.
Meaning to the phrase, words hurt.
Talking smack about people's not cool.
While that sounds like a pretty cool...
I feel like this isn't the worst thing I've seen. I mean, it's
a potentially cutting villain ends up sounding closer to an immature YouTube commenter.
You're a red-faced liar, pants on fire.
That is dumb.
You've got a secret.
Oh, but he did have a secret.
Yeah.
But his lightweight insults are.
I don't think this is the cringiest, but
powerful Rangers. Either the heroes.
I mean, we'd have to make our own list to figure out. Like,
I feel like this have to watch every series.
He realizes.
And this is number 10, to be fair. So it's like
they usually do honorable mentions as well.
Oh yeah.
Kevin, don't let him get.
Samurai Ranger.
All right, so
Tommy versus
nine.
the Team.
Oh, this was this
Power
was
Rangers
crazy.
Dino
CGI,
Thunder.
yeah.
I would argue
Long
this should
after
be
his
higher.
time working with the Dino-themed
You
Mighty
may be
Morphin
right.
Power Rangers
You
was
could do,
over, Tommy just
multi-
couldn't get away from dinosaurs.
Speed as well if you want for the
Check
video.
out the T-Rex.
Hold on.
Speed's sake.
What'd you say?
I said you could also put it at like 1.5x or something.
I'm gonna
if
turn
you
the volume
wanted.
down because I was having trouble hearing you for some reason.
Okay. Then just mute it when it's doing that, and we'll riff.
Well, I'm trying to hear what they're saying so I could respond to what they're saying too. Like, otherwise, how do we know what we're responding?
Do it all at once, Gaz. Jeez.
to?
No, it's all good. All right, let's keep going.
In the very first episode of
I turned
Dino
it down.
Thunder, he finds
So-
himself cornered by a poorly rendered
I guess the
CGI
thing with Dino
T-Rex. How does he
Thunder,
handle seeing
because I think it's
another
generally a good
mechanical
season, but
dino?
there's a lot of
Why
weird, cringy
he
stuff in it.
kicks
Yeah.
the
Like when he's
T-Rex
invisible,
right in
and then
the
when he's
snout.
stuck in the suit, we know that there's behind the scenes reasons.
Yeah, like this one right here. I don't know why.
Oh, I forgot he
It
kicked.
goes about
Yeah,
it
that's
as
why.
we expect.
Yeah.
Although we know Tom
Here's the thing. For who I am, the bad CGI bothers me more than the fact that he kicked the dinosaur. Now, the fact that he kicked the dinosaur is ridiculous, but it's so ridiculous and it's so Jason David Frank. Like, it'd be awesome if I kicked the dinosaur that I almost could like it if it was done better.
I think it's a Disney decision, is my guess.
I think I also think the dinosaur chasing him looks worse. And it's one of those
Yeah.
things where, like, even judging it by its time, this is post Jurassic Park, post a
Yeah.
lot of other stuff where that just
Does their
looks
song
bad. You know?
Oh, I didn't like this episode.
dance.
Is this the
Power
one where
Rangers
they had to
Zero.
sing everything?
In a
Yeah.
that forces them. Even stuck in this mode
Yeah,
when
this
they're
was-
morphing and fighting.
I mean, it was original. I'll give them that.
Yeah, didn't they had a Buffy episode like this that was done much better later
Yeah,
on?
because I think the whole thing was just like an in continuity, like musical that they didn't address. It was a musical.
In Buffy, I thought it was a similar thing where they got hit with a spell or something that everything was a musical.
I
Maybe
don't
I'm
remember
wrong.
it being a spell, but I could be wrong. It's been so long.
Let us know in the comments, 'cause I thought it was the same concept but just done better. You know?
And while we again want
Same
to
era.
express our love for Tommy, let's just say his sing
Yeah,
so gets
nobody
worse.
was doing the dancing. Yeah, this is not
Tommy
awesome.
actor Jason David Frank reportedly said he wasn't a big fan of this episode.
So okay, so with the three we've seen so far, the singing episode, the dinosaur, and the
Insults.
insults. I actually feel like the insults is not as bad as both of these.
No, absolutely.
Because that was just like a goofy monster of the week, which we've seen a million times.
The
Well, for this list, it's like the higher number you are, the less cringy it is.
Right. So I feel like 10 is the oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. Okay. So maybe it is. Okay, now this is the one that could really go either way. The Ninja Turtles crossover.
I don't think it's cringy, but I'm a hard like Ninja Turtle crossover apologist.
I like that they have the crossover. I am not a fan of this version of the Ninja Turtles. And as we've talked about before with our comic reviews and stuff, I don't want to say I'm a turtle purist. I'm more of a turtle purist than you. But there are multiple versions I like. It's not like
Yeah.
it has to be this one version. But the further you stray from like what I think of as like the heart of the turtles, and that usually happens when they get too goofy. You know what I mean? Like they cross some line where just everything, like all the turtles have the same personality, and they're all just like, dude, pumpkin pie, blah, 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 you know, like, and these are getting in that ballpark. And so I think that's what I don't love about it. And that's the next Mutation Turtles, because you got Venus there. But I do like that it's a Ninja Turtles crossover and it puts them in the same universe.
And it makes sense for the most part.
Yeah, there's some stuff I think in the second part we're in the ship where, yeah, and maybe we don't need to listen to them. Maybe I can just kind of make a slideshow. out
That's
of
what I'm
this.
saying. You could just mute it and have it play.
Yeah, I guess I was waiting to see, like, what are they going to, what's their justification one or the other? But I guess it doesn't really matter because we're going to.
They do some justifications. Like I said, if there's ones you're curious on, we could just toggle the volume off.
Yeah. I definitely think this should not be as high on the list as it is, even if it's on the list. Like I like you, I don't know if it should be on the list or not, because it's kind of like dumb fun crossover, you know, why not?
No, and again, like I watched it recently as an adult. I still think it holds up. Are there goofy elements? Yes, but
we reviewed it in past episodes. People could even watch. So
well, I've watched it, I think, since the review as well.
okay.
Like it's one I go back to because it is fun.
And then they're talking about the comic. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure this belongs on the list at all, but certainly not as high as
Oh, this was bad.
Just end up
Rangers
Baby
one
Stroller.
baby stroller.
Power Rangers.
Is this when the Stone Canyon people
Yeah.
came?
No. Different.
Oh.
This was
remember
kind of
To
bad.
include this
Okay, it was an
moment because
RPM
it
story,
had a
obviously.
great lead-up. Two
I don't
Rangers were
remember-
fighting,
I
throwing out
remember
cool
this.
one-liners, and had excellent and funny
They fight
chemistry.
with the stroller.
Well, that makes sense for Ziggy.
No, with the baby in it.
Unfortunately, decides to use a stroller as a weapon
Wait.
against enemies
Oh, and
while a child
Oh.
is inside of it.
That is a weird choice. That, especially that move right there. Like pushing it back and forth to get it out of danger. What?
While the young
That's
person
what I'm
gets out
saying.
of this incident unharmed, it's
Did you notice how
absurd
it seemed
to
like
see
the
a hero be
well, I
so
guess they're trying to steal,
careless
but it almost
about
looked like they were
bringing a
protecting it.
kid into
Yeah.
a conflict.
That's
It
some weird
actually made
choices.
his less competent ranger partner Ziggy look better by comparison.
That is a weird choice.
Yeah.
Number
Here's the thing though. That's like a weird writing storytelling choice. But that scene worked. It was good choreography and stunt work and stuff. The Tommy fighting the T-Rex in some ways is like better written because okay, a dinosaur is attacking a ranger. That's a better story than fighting with a baby, but it looks worse.
I
So which
think
one's worse?
I think both make more sense in the last one. It was just a poor thing for the ranger to do.
Yeah. This is going to be another
Number
one where
five,
like I almost
the
feel like it's so
heroes
bad it's good.
become-
I was about to say the same
Power
thing.
Rangers
It is
Turbo.
objectively bad, but it has reached cult status, I think.
Yeah.
Tonal
Yeah, I think it's like, are we looking at it as a kid watching Turbo back in the day? Then it's horrible. Well, but maybe not because as a kid it might not be so bad. Did you remember watching this as a kid? Because I don't.
Yes.
And what did you think of it back then?
Turbo as a whole, when I watched it as a kid, like there's a lot about it that didn't make sense to me. So I
Right.
didn't like hate it, but I did think it was kind of goofy, like this part especially.
I feel like the special effects on this are extra bad because it just is like it doesn't look like pizza. It looks like
Yeah.
a tent or not a tent, like a parachute or something that's painted
Yeah.
to look like a pizza. But yeah, at this day and age, knowing what Turbo is, that's a fun episode to watch. So I don't know if it's weird. If we're judging it against the past, then I guess it's cringe. But against the present,
I think it's cringe overall. I would argue the baby one is
the writers
cringier than this.
the baby one is the worst rating I've seen so far, for sure. The rest of it, it's like
You could argue the T-Rex is worse writing.
I guess that where it like sniffs at him and he kicks it, but I guess I'm thinking the general idea of a T-Rex attacking a Power Ranger is not that terrible or bad. The concept of it isn't bad. Fighting with a baby in the carriage, there's no good way to do that, really. I mean, maybe Jackie Chan could pull it off. Maybe.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I've seen fight scenes in other things with that, but just not with a baby in it.
Well, I've seen
Like
it with
if
a
the
baby
mom
too.
picked
Usually
her
it's
up,
like they're holding the baby. What?
If the mom took it and then they did the same fight, it would be fine.
Fighting with the stroller as a prop is fine. Or if it was a thing where they had the baby, they're being chased and they're kind of punching and like, I've seen that work too, but it's something about they're swinging the baby around as the weapon. And that's in the writing. Like that from the beginning, that was the idea.
Also, the flipping it this way was kind of dumb.
Where baby would have fallen out. And like, that's where I say like Power Ranger fighting a T-Rex, it wasn't done well, but it makes sense in the context of the show and it could be cool. Power Rangers using a baby as a weapon from the beginning, there's no way to make that good.
Yeah.
So I think that, yeah.
Let's keep going. We're only halfway.
All right. So a wild.
Oh, where he brings it up.
This is the team up. Oh wait.
No,
this is
no. You're missing the context. TJ is bringing up the time he got baked into the pizza, which is why the clip is in.
Number 4.
Oh, gotcha. Jungle
It's
Fury.
time to dance to a different groove. Power Rangers Jungle Fury. In the episode Dance the Night Away, the Rangers are forced to do battle with their most horrific challenge to date, a dance-off. This is all because the vicious Stingarella thought the Rangers...
I don't remember this
Kind of
being that terrible.
I don't either, but I also don't remember it that well. So the monster of the week having dance powers and dance moves isn't.
Overwhelm Rangers with a few choreographed moves. Unfortunately, it only gets worse after their.
So far, this doesn't bother me that much. I mean, it's not like this is amazing, but it's kind of standard stuff.
It's time to dance to a different groove. Let's show 'em.
Yeah, let's do it, guys. I got the rhythm. Great, Theo. I knew
Yeah, that's kind of cringe.
you could do it.
The idea of using dancing for combat can be pretty horrible dancing display.
Oh,
Is that Limp Bizkit? Sounds like Limp Bizkit.
it's not Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Number 3.
It's Lump Busket. Again, I'm not going to defend that as being great, but it's better.
I
than a
would
lot
put
of
that lower than other ones we've
Yes,
seen this.
Yeah,
far.
because again, it's just sort of like silly Monster of the Week stuff. Like
This was 100% cringy, and I didn't love it when I saw it.
This is very bad. Yeah, from the movie.
The gross.
Because even at the time, I'm like, oh, this is not. If you've seen the movie, you know what we're talking
It's
about.
the first 2 seconds of the movie. It's really
that's really
it's
not.
not.
That might be my number one so far of what we've seen. I
Yeah,
think that might be worse.
It there's no redeeming qualities.
And it's weird because it's like, oh, they're trying to make it more mature, but not really.
Oh, look at how edgy it is, and then
Yeah,
there's a whole lot of hanging out in a rock quarry.
yeah,
Angst.
Boo. Well, the movie overall I didn't hate, but that was very wrong-headed of how do you make something seem like it's not for kids by putting in off-color jokes.
Putting in potty humor.
Oh, okay,
yeah, these are cringe.
These fart jokes. Power Rangers Ninja Steel.
I
Victor
don't-
and Monty were the comic.
I don't even know if the fart jokes are the
I don't know the
worst.
context why he's eating beans from a
Seeing
can.
them get knocked off
I
their
think
high
they
horses.
wanted to
A
fart.
recurring joke with them gets old really.
I think they want. I think they end up inflating this.
Things are getting worse. The beans.
Oh, maybe
This
there
is
wasn't even a reason to do it.
characters.
I do remember they
know that
turn into a big balloon that goes fly away at some point, but I
but
don't
the
know
show
if that's
took
this
it way too far on multiple occasions. As just one gross example,
I
the
I
duo
didn't even finish
artist
the season, so I don't know half
I mean,
of
I
these.
did,
a
but
large number.
oh right.
This
Yeah,
is number one, possibly number two right now.
This is
for
the
me.
part I hated more.
Really
When they're
didn't
floating
need
around
to
in their
see them
fart bubble.
in
This again, they
National
just make them
Press
cartoons essentially. And look,
Many times we did.
like you thought some of the Ben and Betty stuff was cartoony. No, that definitely deserves to be high, but I still think the movie was worse because one is like juvenile, stupid humor that's taken it too far, and the other is like gross, weird. Why is this
Here's the
empowering?
thing, though. In the movie, they did it one time. It wasn't a running gag of the film.
Right?
So that's my argument where, like, they did the fart scene so many times.
Yes. I don't know if this is
Sure you go into your
runners up
settings
or
and
the
switch
final,
on
let's say.
notifications.
It'll tell you.
Number 1, the Robo
Oh.
Knight rap. Power
Not the
Rangers
worst.
Megaforce. In the human condition,
It-
5
I
Rangers
would
Also-
argue Troy was cringier than the Robo Knight.
As someone who likes Robo Knight as a character, I'm not saying the Robo Knight rap was good, but again, it's sort of standard cheesy that we've seen, and it's kind of like just a one-off. Like it's not as offensive, for lack of a better term, as some of the other things to my senses.
The 6th Ranger demonstrates what he's
Yeah,
And it
so
just-
far.
once the battle is over.
All right, let's
It's
hear it.
bad enough
Okay,
that
here we go.
Robo Knight sat out a major battle. How Rangers get into
Very most by far was some knowledge there dropped by my little homie Todd, who turned me on to hip hop. Word.
I'd put it top 5. I wouldn't put it number 1.
Were those not fresh rhymes?
while the mega painful to sit through.
It's
The
not
whole
good.
point is he's supposed to be a robot that is learning culture.
Yes, I mean that could maybe be on the list, but not number one. I think number one has to be for me Victor and Monty or the movie one. So
I'm gonna go farts. Movies probably number 3.
once.
Number 3 was
Um,
number 2.
I don't know. That baby one seemed really
With our picks.
avoidable. Like, because that wasn't like cringe, like embarrassed cringe. That was like, wait, why are you? No, stop it.
Yeah, the moment of like, oh geez, the baby, but like it's a very watchable action scene despite the bad idea. So that's when I'm like, it's
Going
yeah.
into it, assuming like we're watching it fresh,
Mhm.
RPM is more like, I don't want to say mature per se, because that's giving the wrong connotation, but like
No.
the stakes feel higher in RPM.
more serious. Here's what
Yes.
this goes back to what I was saying is like, I guess as much as I say that premise is bad and you can't do it right, and maybe you can't, but I said Jackie Chan because he's that one that's always like, ooh, ee, oh, like kind of goofy, and I feel like Ziggy should have been the one doing that, and Ziggy should have still not been using it as a weapon, but kind of like ooh, baby, and like getting punched in the face instead of
trying to get the baby safe, and by doing so, hitting people in that Jackie Chan manner.
Yeah. And so I think there was just like, why do this at all? But if you're gonna do it, you use the wrong Ranger and you did it the wrong way. But that being said, I think the movie's the worst for me. I think it's the movie, then Victor and Monty, and then the rest could be shuffled around a bit with some maybe not deserving to be on there, but I couldn't tell you what to replace them with.
To me, Victor and Monty made me not want to watch the rest of that season. The joke in the movie didn't make me want to stop watching the movie.
Agreed, but I guess Victor and Monty didn't make it seem like Ninja Steel wasn't Power Rangers. It felt like a Power Ranger season I didn't particularly like, or like a vibe I wasn't digging, but it still felt like Power Rangers. That joke in the Power Rangers movie made me feel like, oh, this is like some alternate universe, not real Power Rangers.
Because it was.
Right, and that's how I feel about
it. But that was the whole point of it.
I know, but not in a good way. I have never felt the need to go back and watch that movie. And I have got back and watched a few episodes of Ninja Steel for various reasons. Yeah. A lot of them related to this show. But, that unless we were reviewing the Power Rangers 2017 movie, I doubt I'd ever watch it again. And I didn't hate it. I just
if you want us to review the Power Rangers 2017 movie, let us know down below.
There you go. But, and if you think there's a cringy moment that should have been on this list that wasn't, or one that, should not have been on there, or you disagree with what we're saying, let us know. But, yeah, I don't know. And if you like us reacting to these...
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, like, part of the reason we do videos like this is because we kind of do it offline anyway. Yeah. This is just more structured of you get to be involved if you want to be, and comment also, where we've had many debates, like you just saw, of this was cringier than that. No, this was better than that. No, this was terrible. No, this was great. So Here you are.
And I feel like there's probably some really cringy moments in the first season or two of Mighty Morphin.
Oh, absolutely.
Glossed over because they're the golden seasons. But I'm sure there was like weird stuff in there that like could have knocked some of this other stuff off.
Yeah, like there was one, I forget. I think when Kat gets introduced, there's a lot of cringy stuff.
I don't
remember. When she is a cat,
right?
Where you're just like you see her as a person, then she gets turned into a cat. And then we know the context of her being cat, but the Rangers don't. And then you see them interact with her, and it's just kind of weird. I remember that being a thing.
They treat her like a cat, but she's a person, so it's like...
And then she's a person. She's like, oh, look at me. I'm also named Cat.
I definitely remember thinking, once she turned good, like, why is she not a cat anymore? Because I thought that was, like, part of her abilities or part of what she was. And then it's like, oh, I guess not. But I don't even know if that's the thing. But... given some of the ones we said that, like, should this even be on the list? I know there are other moments, whether it's from Megaforce or Ninja Steel or the original ones, that could like knock these off.
I'm sure there's one from. I mean, this is small potatoes, but like you could argue something from the Action Activate deemed Tommy Tuba episode.
Oh,
that was probably worse than something on that list.
True. That's true. Or what about Words Have No Meaning on a Planet Under the Cape of War?
Yeah, that whole episode was pretty cringe.
It's super enjoyable to watch and riff on, but it was not good. Yeah. But anyway, let us know what you think below. And until next time, I've been Gazbot.
Still the big dog. And to the power.
To the power.
See you guys later.
I'm going to do end credits.
Yeah, flipping through some of those other ones. I haven't watched the recent one with the finishing weapons. That one seems like it's probably got some hot takes in it.
Funny enough, I was interested in the one top 10 actors that got replaced, which isn't the kind of thing we can have an opinion on, but I'm like, I don't remember there being 10. I remember like 3. So I'm like, who are the other 7? Like,
one of them, I think you could probably argue like, oh, Corone replaced Kendricks, even though you're like, she did, but she didn't. Okay. I guess.
I mean, like you think of like Divatox is like the main one that I always think of, and then Rita and Scorpina as actresses because they were originally Japanese and they were American.
Zed technically got replaced post.
Oh yeah. Oh, I guess some voice actors got replaced. Yeah. Okay. We're halfway there. I guess I could see it. Yep. Goodbye.